Well, hello, ladies, gentlemen, and whoever or whatever you identify as, and welcome to another impromptu live stream. And maybe the title should give it to you. Why do people misunderstand what being kind or be kind actually means? And why has it become perverted into such a way that it's meant with zero sincerity whatsoever? Now, I frequently say be kind. I even say the things that I do are me being kind, and I get attacked by saying, "Yeah, but the way you behave, you're not being kind." But the thing is, this is where be kind has been completely misunderstood. Being kind doesn't mean that you will ignore people acting stupidly, irresponsibly, aggressively, whatever. Be kind doesn't mean that I will not challenge anyone who challenges me or my friends. That's not being kind. In my eyes, being kind is just showing people, human beings, a little modicum of respect. It's literally that simple. For instance, as some of you may already know, have literally zero belief in any religion whatsoever. But by being kind, I also responsibly understand that other people do have affinity with religion, and therefore that's fine, and I respect that. You see, the thing with me is, as I've said many times before, I don't judge anyone on their skin color, race, religion, whatever. I basically judge people on whether or not they're being a twat. Now, if you're not being a twat, and you're showing me some respect, I will show you respect back. The second you start acting like a twat, that's when you and me are going to have a problem, which is the same with everything in the world today. Um, Everybody is entitled to believe in what they want to believe, say what they want to say, be who they want to be, and that's absolutely fine. And I have no problem with that, and never will have a problem with that. The problem is when people then come along and try and make me take part in whatever they want to be, and I don't want to. And that's when the problem starts. But you see, the thing is, because I say be kind, like my video I did with that wonderful speech from Peter Capaldi in Doctor Who, it is about being kind. Being kind is doing the right thing. Now, hashtag be kind is usually used as a deflection mechanism. When something happens that people don't agree with but don't really want to get involved with, they'll just put the hashtag be kind, even though if you pay attention to them and you look at their profiles and the way they hold themselves and the way they behave, they're anything but. Be kind can be anything. Speaking from personal point of view, and the thing that sparked this conversation is I saw a video of a cop in America pulling up alongside a car, and inside there was a US Army veteran who was in tears because he was contemplating committing suicide. That's being kind. Being kind is just doing good things for people. As was mentioned, I think it was what's that Ricky Gervais one? Ricky Gervais one, can't remember it. Afterlife, that was it. Where, good people just do good things for other people. That's it. Hey Jade, nice to see you here. Nice to join me on this, me rambling about pointless stuff, I guess. But sometimes I need to get stuff off my chest. It's like I did before on my old channel. I did a thing where somebody was being bullied and being bullied viciously enough to the level that it almost drove her to suicide. And I decided, along with some other people, to just say, look, let's stand up and show support for this lady. And that's when I did the hashtag We Stand With Melina videos. Now, that's being kind. Thank you. That's being kind. That is because I won't see another human being suffering. I won't see people be pushed to the limits where they genuinely contemplate taking their own life. Now, surprisingly enough, when I did this, the level of abuse and hate that I got was mind blowing, and literally showed the sick state of affairs that we live in this country, in the world per se, where people think it's perfectly acceptable to drive somebody away from social media, to drive somebody to actually commit or contemplate committing suicide, because it's all shits and giggles, isn't it? When I did it, I set up an email address so people could send me clips. That was signed up to multiple porn sites. I got abuse, death threats, the lot, all because I just wanted to say it's not acceptable to bully someone, and sometimes in life you have to stand up and genuinely be kind. Actually show that you actually care for another human being, because that's what be kind is supposed to mean. Not a deflection, not a, well, I've got to pretend that be kind. A lot of hashtag be kinds are very much akin to thoughts and prayers when things go wrong. Yeah, it doesn't actually mean anything. It doesn't mean you're going to do anything. It doesn't mean, absolutely right, Jade, abuse is the tool of the weak. And the thing is, that's why there's many things like the thing that's scrolling across the bottom of my screen right now. There are times when you have to stand up. You really do genuinely have to. I mean, it's like every other hashtag, I suppose. It's a thing. It's something to say. Whether you mean it or not is irrelevant, I guess. But to me, it means something. To me, being kind is standing up for people, for seeing when something is wrong. No worries, John. Thanks for popping in any case. To stand up against people. But it doesn't also mean that by saying, when I say I'll be kind, that doesn't mean that means I can't comment on anything else with upset. We like the things we like, and not like something is perfectly okay. Exactly. That's exactly what needs to be said. I mean, my videos, the things I do on my channel, as I've said before, that's just my opinion. You don't have to like it. You don't have to agree with me. You don't have to watch. See, now, if I see something, a video or something that's been done that I don't agree with and I think's wrong, I don't go on that channel and put nasty comments. I don't even thumb down the videos because I just don't pay attention to them. And I show them a modicum of respect. Unfortunately, the world is full of people, especially on Twitter, who like to think that they're something that they're not and like to pass comments. Yeah, this is why be kind is misunderstood. And obviously, I speak from a background where I've seen the worst that humanity can do to itself and the best that humanity can do to itself. And even when the bad guys have been trying to spend the last 20 minutes trying to put a bullet in you, when they get injured, you be kind, because that's what it's all about. At the moment of contact, the moment of the shit going down, you're not being kind to each other. But when it stops and when there's a human being suffering, you be kind. You walk over, you run over, you patch them up. You hope they, you organise a helicopter and you hope that they survive. That's being kind. That's what being kind really means. Not what people think is something like, oh, he's saying something horrible, just be kind. Well, not really, because that's not how it works. I personally like She-Hulk with First Dance Call Mercy. Well, absolutely, Jade. I mean, as I said in my review, as I have with Doctor Who and literally everything else, if you like it, if you're enjoying it, and it's entertaining you and making you happy, cool. That's fine. Absolutely brilliant. And as I said, she said earlier, which is true. We don't always agree on facts. We always disagree. It's an innate trait of the human race to never agree on everything, because we just don't, because we're all individuals, even though some of us act like pack animals because we've got nothing else. But the simple truth of the matter is, if you enjoy something, I know there's a lot of things. I mean, this is why I have this shed. This is why all my stuff is here. Because in my house, people don't particularly like sci-fi and Doctor Who and all this sort of stuff. But that's cool. Now, I show them respect by having things here and keeping my things to me. That's fine. But we've got to stop this. I mean, I just recently saw a thing. We're all here to hold each other up, regardless of opinions. Absolutely spot on. That's exactly what we're here for. That's what humans are supposed to do. Yeah. There are people, I have plenty of friends who have completely different opinions on many, many different things. Yeah. Can have different political points of view, whatever. But they're my friends. It's that simple. I don't fall out over arguments over religion, politics, anything like TV shows. What is the point? What is the point? And I do honestly struggle to understand why people exist that just want to cause trouble for other people. Lord of the Sci-Fi Shed of Respect. Thank you very much. Nice to see you, mate. Thanks for popping by. I don't understand it. If you don't agree with somebody, just, now, again, this is where be kind becomes a problem, because people think, well, because you say be kind, you can't pass comments on things. Well, I can. And everybody does. But I always find it amazing that some people who go, well, it's from the man who says be kind all the time and look what he's doing. Well, that doesn't mean anything. And I can give you multiple occasions where that doesn't mean anything to me. You see, the simple truth of the matter is I would have a disagreement with anyone. If they don't agree, that's absolutely fine. If you fell over and hurt yourself, I'll be the first person there to pick you up. That's being kind. That's how it works, as my dog joins in the background. But that's what it's about. I stand with my friends. I stand against people who are bullied. I stand against people who have injustice set upon them, like good old Noel Clarke, when he's had his entire life taken away from him based on rumour and allegations, and that almost drove him to thinking about taking his own life. How is that acceptable? You see, personally, Noel Clarke as an actor, whatever. I don't know the guy. I've never met him. He doesn't know who I am, and that's fine. But the simple truth of the matter is, I won't stand idly by while he gets treated like this, and neither should anyone else. There was a time when we could agree to disagree, but now it's just attack those who feel different. Absolutely right, Jade. My favourite saying of all time is, and I've had conversations with people, and in the end, again, tell you what, guys, let's just agree to disagree and move on. We see the problem, that's something else. Other people can't. People can't move on. People can't move on. They have an argument and they can't move on. They can't forgive. They sit in their little pit of bitterness and twistedness and anger and aggression and whatever, and won't move on. Then there's no need for that either. Oh, thanks for having me on in the background. That's cooking. Is it what you're cooking? I'm intrigued, because obviously you don't get a fine athletic figure like mine by worrying about the calories. But thanks, mate. Thanks very much. It's much appreciated. Perhaps it's because I'm old. Perhaps it's because of the things that I've done in my life. I just don't understand the logic behind any of it. You see, when I say be kind, I mean it. You could be my mortalist enemy. You could hate me with every bone in your body. You really could. You could call me whatever you wanted to call me. But if you were in trouble, and I mean in trouble, and I was the only one around, I'd be kind. I would come over and help you. Because when it all comes down to it, we are nothing but human beings. Pasta with all the trimmings, yum, yum, yum. Because, and that's where this is why we've got to stop all this division and anger and aggression and this, that, and the other. Yeah, you may not like things, you may not agree with people and this, that, and the other, but the simple truth of the matter is good people do good things for other people. That's it. That's what be kind should mean. See, it's like when people, I hate you. You don't. You don't. You hate something else and you just project it upon them. I mean, as I said, when I saw that video, it struck a chord. Because even if you don't know a person, even if you think that person really doesn't like you, they're going through the shit. We should all be there for each other. It's that simple. I mean, when you come out of the forces, people say to you, what's the thing you miss the most? Brotherhood. That's what you miss. You don't miss anything else. You just miss having people you can rely on. And then when you come out in civvy world and you see some of the things where people are just tearing into people for no reason or making horrible things up about people for whatever reason, madness, insanity, whatever. It's wrong. It really is wrong. The fact that we're all just fans of these fans should be able to debate these things. Exactly. But that's for everything in life, not just fans of franchises and anything else. The simple truth of the matter is we should be able to debate. But the problem is we don't want to debate. Well, a lot of people don't want to debate. It's just a blank statement thrown these days without any intention to follow it. Exactly. And I get it because you see, I've been on Twitter a long time now, and and the cesspit that wonderful place really is. It's special. And the thing is, half the time I don't even think what people do is the real true reflection upon themselves. What I say and what I do is exactly how I feel about anything. Does it mean I hate those people I'm commenting to? Nah, I don't even know them. And it's just, so this is the thing. I just, they need to get things off. She-Hulk speaks to me, but I understand for those who don't. That's fine. Of course, that's absolutely okay. You see, the thing is, I've said on many, many times, especially on Doctor Who, because obviously Doctor Who's the thing that has, I've done the most reviewing on and that. It's just, look, if you like it, it's great. And I just don't understand this level of vitriol over a fucking TV show, because that's all it is. It's just a TV show. In reality, it means nothing. In reality, it changes nothing. It's a form of entertainment. Yes, you can be passionate about it. Yes, you can wear your heart on your sleeve. Yes, you can argue and have the things and have a different opinion and a different thing. But the simple truth of the matter is, you shouldn't be wanting somebody else dead over a goddamn TV show. Really? Is that what you think? Opinions vary, and that's a good thing, but misery seems to love company. People have the right to be offended, and I have the right to not care. It's usually over nothing anyway. Absolutely right. I'll admit, a female doctor doesn't work for me. That's fine. You see, the thing is, for me, it wasn't the fact that it was a female doctor. It's the fact that it was done for all the wrong reasons. You could see it coming, and it was being done because it was, for all intents and purposes, a tick box exercise. It was a grand experiment, and it failed. But the biggest thing that let down Doctor Who was not the fact it was a female. It's the fact that it was written poorly. If you'd had an RTD or, writing for a female doctor, I think our opinions might have been different. If you'd had really good storylines, I think our opinions would probably have been different. If it wasn't played by somebody who literally just read what was on the page, our opinions would be different. And the thing is, let's all be done. Let's get it out there. for all the years we watched Doctor Who, we've had our favourite doctors and our doctors we don't like. Nothing wrong with that until recently. And it was made an issue. It was made an issue. It was done to make a virtue signalling experiment. Yep. You see, now, if this had been a male doctor with the same writing and the same acting level of ability as Jodie Whittaker clearly has, you'd have got the same. To turn around and say, oh, it's because it's a woman is just pointless deflection. Because it really is. Because when it all boils down to it, if you really look deep into Doctor Who, it's written badly. It's interesting. Any idea? See a female doctor, but you're correct, Jade. It doesn't work. Jodie and Chibnall put me off the idea. Exactly. Now imagine, as I said, if you'd had a really good actor or actress, should we say, to make it definition, and a really good writer, I think half of this, nearly all of this, wouldn't have happened. None of it would have been happened. None of it would have existed. The arguments would still be there, but there wouldn't be this. But the problem is it's like everything else. It's been perverted into a projection of somebody else's deep-seated anger and problems. I think a lot of the things that are fired off at people about Doctor Who, Star Wars, Star Trek, and this, that, and the other are ways of getting rid of something deep inside their heart. Because there's no, I mean, who in their right mind would be that vicious to threaten somebody with death over a TV show? It doesn't sit right. So being kind is about caring about other people, but it doesn't mean you can't disagree with people. It doesn't mean you can't say, well, you're wrong there. That doesn't mean you're not being kind. That's exactly what it isn't. Being kind is like we're having here. We're having a very, very good discussion in the chat, and thank you to those people who are in it. And that's how it should be. Now, you don't see me going, for instance, at Jade and saying that she's evil because she likes the She-Hulk. It's just ridiculous. It's pathetic. It's silly. Because I respect her opinion. And that's because she is passing on messages showing that she respects other people's opinions. And that's how it should be. If I'd done a female doctor, I would have had an older actor express it better, like Dame Judi Dench, yeah, or originally Olivia Colman, or any other powerful female actor. There's a being kind and being a pushover. Exactly. And that's where the problem is, you see, because, and again, this is being reflected because I've had some rather interesting personal messages, etc., about me being kind, saying being kind and then being nasty to people. I'm not being nasty to people. I'm responding in kind. Just because I am a kind-hearted person who really genuinely does care about everybody around me, whether I agree with their beliefs or political things or religion. Simple truth of the matter is, if I see a human that's hurt, I'll go and help them. It's irrelevant, their gender, whether what they identify as, whatever, because that's what being kind is. But being kind doesn't mean being a doormat to everybody else. Being kind is not about just letting anybody say whatever they want, because that's not about being kind. I've sat in this shed many times and ranted and raved against stuff and had to go at things and tore things down. But that's my personal opinion. And it's never directed at the people, the people in the shows or whatever, because I don't know them. And until I've met them and had a conversation with them, then I still, simple truth of the matter is, if I bumped into Jodie Whittaker walking down the street, I wouldn't grab her and say, you're evil, and look what you've done to my show. I'd probably go hello, because that's just general respect. The current so-called in crowd doesn't understand that shows are not for everyone, and that is totally okay. Exactly, because if shows were made to be accepted by everybody, we'd only have one of each, wouldn't we? We'd only have one crime drama, one romantic comedy, one soap, one sci-fi show, because everybody would like those, and there would be no need to make them slightly different with different people and different viewpoints and different things, would there? It's that simple. The reason you have such a selection of shows is because not everybody enjoys that particular show. Like, as I said before, everybody in my house really, really doesn't like sci-fi. I'm the only one who does. That's fine. That's absolutely fine. That's why and they enjoy, the missus enjoys the soaps, which I think are just brain dead, idiotic things that are written, but she enjoys them and I don't. But that's okay because that shows how different we are. I don't sit here and say to my wife and just constantly berate her shows and insult her over it, and this, that, and the other, just like I wouldn't anyone else. Everybody forgets, and again, I don't understand where this has come from. Is the fact that we are all different. We are all massively different. So we're never, ever, ever going to agree on everything. But that doesn't mean you can't be kind to other human beings. If they say something you don't agree with, and you're well within your rights to say something back. But there is a level where you stop being kind. Saying something quite forcefully at somebody, that's fine. Yeah, threatening to kill them over a TV show, that's not being kind, is it? To twist things to suit your own agenda isn't right either. Yeah. The new Hellraiser has a trans woman lead. If people have a problem with it, that's fine. There's still the original, and nobody's taking that away from you. And that's the same with Star Trek, Star Wars, Doctor Who, all these shows that they've remade. We've all got the originals, and no one is taking them out. Now, the Hellraiser has a trans woman in the lead. That's fine. I won't be watching it because I've got the originals. I think they're in here somewhere. In this big pile of videos of DVDs I got. It's in there somewhere. Got loads of them. That's right. If you don't like it, that's fine. You got the originals. But it's you're well within your right to say, well, I have a problem with that because blah, 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 blah. Hi, Colin. No, it was just it's one of those, one of those impromptu ones I do every now and again that just literally come out of nowhere. But welcome. I'm really looking forward to the new Hellraiser. It's closer to the novella than the Hell. There you go. See, again, you both of you, both Jade and Spec, clearly like Hellraiser. I've watched it a couple of times. I can't say it's a brilliant thing. So my interest isn't piqued in it at all. And it's irrelevant whether it's got a trans woman in it or not. I mean, let's be brutally honest. If we're talking Hellraiser, they're demons. And as far as I can remember, demons don't normally have sex as in a gender any case. So I agree, Colin. The Hellraiser doesn't. It's not my bag. It's not something that's going to get me excited or draw me in straight away. To be brutally honest, because it just isn't. But I also know that Hellraiser, the series of Hellraiser films, did really well in the box office, and people genuinely like it, which is cool. Absolutely cool. I mean, apart from sci-fi, my biggest things is I love westerns and war films. They're not for everybody, but we've just. I just love horror. Well, that's cool. I like a horror film every now and again, but I'm not. It's not my go-to. We all have our go-tos, and horror isn't really one of my go-to. Even though I've got, it's all the Final Destinations here. There's Scream here. There's Christine. I've got loads of horror films. Horror Express, got all the Omens, all the Nightmare on Elm Street. So I've got a selection of horror, but I have to be in the right mood for a horror film, to be fair. Although, of course, being October, and that's Halloween, some of those will probably come out and have a nice Halloween movie night or something. And now, for some reason, I have the theme from Guns N' Naparone playing in my head. Yes, indeed. I want more westerns. Sadly, they don't get made very much at all anymore. They're very. It's a genre that's drifted out of favour. I suppose in this modern day political correct kind of world, that it's a bit they're not very easy to modernize, shall we say, because westerns never were. I mean, if you're going back to the old days of the West, it wasn't exactly men were men and women were women. You know, it is. It's such a great genre. It really is. I love my westerns, but then again, that's because my dad did. I want more decent westerns like Tombstone and Unforgiven, two great films. The thing is, that's it, really, isn't it? Modern westerns. I have yet to see the one with Gina Carano in, but I will get into that. Um, I'm just not into what one might call body horror. Nothing against it, just not my thing. Cool. Again, that's exactly right. Who cares? I mean, a lot of people apparently. I mean, I've just started watching the that thing Dharma about the Jeffrey Dahmer stuff. Now, apparently, a lot of people can't get through that, and I think that reason is because it's based in reality. I think if anything, if you want to watch a horror series and you've got it and you can get hold of it, watching Dharma is amazing. Honestly, horror westerns is an untapped genre. Hey, yeah, you could be. Yeah, in fact, I don't actually think I've ever seen one. I mean, a zombie movie, a zombie apocalypse movie while set in the West would be a good film, wouldn't it? Oh, possibilities. But yeah, it's you could. I'm starting Dharma tonight. Be prepared. It is gruesome, really gruesome. There are times that you'll sit there going, "Oh!" Even if you really like horror movies. And I think again that's because it's that happened. It's based on reality, so that makes it even more a bit. "Ugh!" But no, it is good. But be prepared. That's all I'm going to say. Going so I made a Western sci-fi connection earlier regarding Han Solo shot first thing. Ah, yeah. Bone Tomahawk was close to that. I've never seen that. I'll have to dig it out now if that's what it was close to. Jay, the old werewolf of the Apocalypse RPG, had a Wild West setting, as I recall. There you go. Horror's my main genre. You'll find, well, if it is, Spec, you are really going to enjoy Dharma. It is really good. Although I personally, after watching the first episode, I now make sure that I don't watch it while eating. Yeah. So, but there you go. You see, because already we've got on. We've realised, I like westerns. Other people. Hello, Adam. Nice for you to join us. Love my cowboy costume. Got Christmas '76. Yeah, as a given case catalogue, there's a there's a blast from the past. Good old case catalogue. Yeah, Bone Tomahawk was great. Right then, so Bone Tomahawk then is I see a recommendation that I shall go and find and give you to watch. That'd be awesome. Oh god, yeah, case catalogue. Oh, them are the days. Yeah, but no, I mean, war films, westerns, sci-fi are all because that's what my dad liked. Oh, and Bond. James Bond. I love Bond. Absolutely love Bond. I've got them all. I think they're in here again. Everything's in here. Yeah, they're over there. All the Bond films. I've just noticed some loads of war films. That's what I like. But I also know people don't. So it's. Oh, here we go. K's, Grattan's, and Littlewoods. Now there were three comics. There were three catalogues. Amazing how where you went first in the book depended on your age. That's all I'm saying. I'm not going to dig myself a hole. So there you go. Wow, I've been on here half an hour. Half an hour. Jesus, I'm going to have to start wrapping this up. I've got things to do. I also need a coffee, which I'm sorely lacking. I can't believe it. Big Bond fan, bit worried about what's next. Well, I think we're all the same when it comes to that. I think we're all the same. So, right. Well, in any case, I'm going to bring this one. I'm going to wrap this up. This went on longer than I anticipated, but that's thanks to the wonderful people who joined me in the chat. Thank you so much for joining me. Always appreciated. As I said, what's this? Have you read World War II by an alien? Ooh! No, I haven't. Now I've got something else to look for. Yeah, well, no problem. Any case, ladies and gentlemen, I am literally going to have to go. I need a cup of coffee. I've got things to do. And the wonderful wife is due back very shortly from her day shift. So I'm sure she'll be full of interesting things to tell me about a wonderful day at work. And thank you, Spec, for listening. It absolutely brilliant. What's this? They're all quite long books, so be advised. Right. Okay. Well, I do love, as you can see behind me, I do love a good book. Thank you, Jade. Thanks for popping in. Thank you very much. Thank you, Colin, for joining in. Hi, Cam. Unfortunately, going now. Sorry about that. Notifications are probably playing up again. I have noticed that's happening in a long time. Any case, thanks for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this little rant and rave. I hope you understand that now the Be Kind is more of a mindset, not a hashtag. And we'll all get along a little bit better. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, when it all boils down to it, is it worth threatening to kill somebody over a TV show? And with that, I'm going to bring it to a close. Thank you so much for watching. If you're catching back up on YouTube, you know what to do. Like, share, and subscribe. And with that, and as always, and until the next one, ladies and gentlemen, follow the words of Jade. Thank you. I shall love you and leave you. Thanks for spending some time with me. As always, it's very much appreciated. And till the next one.